Hey everybody, this is the Aggressively Medium podcast with Lee and Josh.
Welcome back, Derek.
Hey.
And everybody else who's listening right now. Mike, as close to you as you can.
Yeah.
There you
Hey.
go. There you go.
So he doesn't throw his
This is a new
headset.
setup. We're trying to figure stuff out, you know. But
This
welcome
is
back, Derek.
Thank you.
This is the new room, but we don't
Yeah.
know how we're doing it yet.
Yeah,
We
still
might
have
be
no
hanging
clue.
from the ceiling next week.
Hopefully.
Or we'll be at the beach next week.
Yes, we will.
kinda like a
Forgot about that.
Yep.
You could do that.
We would be
boxing
hanging.
match?
Yeah.
I thought we would be in like sex swings or something.
Oh man, that escalated.
You have a couple.
So have I. What?
I saw them.
Well, all
Never
right, guys.
And that was it.
Yep. Thank you for watching.
Welcome back. This is episode 64.
Yep. Which,
And-
for everybody listening or keeping tabs, that was Animal Planet,
Yeah.
the channel 64 back in the day.
For
me.
if you lived in Gardendale.
Nope. If you lived in Forestdale.
Forestdale.
Yep.
I don't.
It's a lot of Dales.
Yeah, Dale Earnhardt.
Dale seasonings.
It's northwest of Birmingham, and it is not a good part of town like you live in now.
You need to bring that mic up to your face.
It's not a very good part of
It's
town.
worse.
And I'm sitting so low, I feel like I look like I'm a foot tall.
Yeah, you need to get up.
Gosh.
All right. So, anyways, Derek hit me up this morning, and he said, "Hey, have y'all filmed a podcast yet?" And I said, "Yeah, no, we
No.
have not." And he said, I got some good stuff for us." So,
First off, that just shows you how much planning goes into this.
absolutely,
As long as it's from Sunday. Jesus Christ, I don't like holding this thing. I'm an expressive guy, so Sunday to Thursday, it's possible that we shoot it then.
yeah,
As long as sometimes
really
Friday
Monday.
morning. Well, yeah,
Monday to Thursday.
Monday to Thursday.
Yeah. So if you're bored during the week and you want to come on the podcast,
Just
Yep.
text
just text
Josh
one
and
of us. Yeah. But so Derek has some interesting research that he's been doing.
I don't know if I'd go that far. But
Enough research
Enough research.
Yeah.
And so,
that it requires a costume change.
yes.
it does.
So,
y'all ready? Tinfoil hat time.
Keep the bugs out.
keep the 5G out.
That's exactly what it is.
5G needs to stay away from my brain.
I don't want these Chinese communists.
They
in my
say
head.
it's bad to keep in your pocket too. It's bad for
Tinfoil?
your- No, 5G.
Oh, yeah.
Cell phones in general.
Mess up your newt sack.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did y'all ever, when you were in high school, or I guess right after high school, put your phone kind of
Under your leg.
under your leg, but not under your leg, between your legs and under that thing?
Mhm.
And I always just felt weird, so I'd pull it out.
Huh.
I don't know, I just didn't like it. I just felt like that's got to be bad
Oh, definitely.
for my offspring.
Yeah.
That's got to be bad for.
Well, if you think of it like a microwave,
Everything.
I'm okay with them getting heated up.
Scrambled eggs.
If you're telling
I like
me
scrambled
if you're
eggs.
telling me to put a microwave on
A hot bag.
my newt sack, I'm going to tell you no,
Well,
because you got all them. That's probably worse than 5G signals.
how did you get it in a microwave? My door has a close to turn on.
Mine door has a close to turn on.
Yeah, you heard what I said. My microwave's door has to close for it to turn on.
That's blocking his brain cells.
Yeah,
Ain't nothing
nervous.
getting in or out.
I'm sure their satellites can tell that we have three
Oh,
of
they're
them on right
pinpointing us.
here.
Oh,
They're nervous.
Triangulating.
Yeah, they're going
Your
to send a
house is
drone
going to be
strike.
bugged.
They're just going to kill us.
They'll send some more birds to your trees.
Yeah. So, anyways,
Yeah.
So speaking of kill us,
Speaking of,
speaking of what? Kill
I
us?
don't know. You said they're going to kill us.
kill us.
Kill us. Okay.
I thought you were saying it like a
Speaking of
gangster.
killing us.
Like kill us.
Kill us. No, let's talk about Elvis. So
Okay. That's my
There's a
mother's
weird
favorite singer,
Is it?
by the way. Yeah.
Presley?
yeah.
Oh, okay. I was just making sure.
Durant.
Yeah.
Elvis Durant.
Elvis Durant in the
Elvis
morning.
Julian.
Yeah.
Baby's name. No, there's a conspiracy theory going around that he actually died. That's what I thought.
Some people think he's dead.
That's insane.
Everybody
who
knows
would think that?
that he was in the FBI.
Yeah.
Dang.
Him and Tupac.
He ratted out some mob folks.
Oh.
And
Is this all real tinfoil?
this is all real. No, this is true. No, true facts.
Okay.
But he
True facts.
Yeah, true facts.
Yeah.
I don't know where that came out. Truth and facts. That's what I was trying to combine. Anyway, he ratted out Mafia and they put a hit out on him, and so he got put in witness protection.
And so he's in like Barbados right now.
No, he has to stay in
Kicking
the
back.
U.S. If it's true WITSEC, he's.
How do you know that? Speaking of,
Just keep that
Between all
under
of
the
us.
tinfoil hat.
no, I watched a documentary in high school though. It was all about that.
About Elvis?
Are you serious?
Was it in high school or was it?
No, it was a
Okay, I was about to say.
spring football camp.
Dang, I feel like a chump thinking he was dead.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's
I
all
didn't
kind of
know.
like
Well,
that he did it to like get out of. He was tired of being famous,
Huh. Well, that'll do it.
and he was like, "I'm gonna be off the grid."
So was he on all the pills, or was that all a cover?
well,
Because he got fat, or was that fat?
he did. No, he did. And if you look at his his health records, they weren't great. But there was a guy that worked for him that said the day that he died, according to the conspiracy
On
theorists,
the toilet.
that he actually saw and has pictures of him getting on a helicopter, a government helicopter, at Graceland
Dang.
and flying away.
Jeez,
And then
Wow.
shortly after that, he died.
have you seen the Nixon Presley movie?
No.
So there's
Not yet.
there's a movie about Elvis Presley and Richard Nixon. So Elvis like went to the White House a bunch of times and tried to convince Nixon that he needed to put him in like the CIA or the FBI or whatever. And then Elvis Presley was going to work for the government and like
And then that happened, and then he ratted out the mob, and then he got on a helicopter and went to Idaho.
yeah. Well, so this part, the Nixon Elvis part,
Yeah.
is like a real like this actually happened.
There's pictures of it.
Yeah, like he like came in and then Nixon was just like, yeah, sure. And then like Elvis would like legit thought he was in the FBI or the CIA.
Have you ever had an Elvis sandwich?
No.
Peanut butter and
Peanut butter, banana, and bacon.
I've had peanut butter and banana, but I hadn't had the bacon.
He supposedly,
That'll give you a heart attack.
if
the
you
toilet.
hollow out a loaf of bread
Yeah.
and have a pound of bacon and like a half a thing of peanut butter and a couple of bananas, and you eat one every day, you'll get real fat and die on the toilet. That's called an Elvis. They had it at Witch Witch. It wasn't the big old huge loaf.
It wasn't a big loaf.
Is that coming soon to Cheese Louise?
Cheese
No,
Louise.
no.
Get your Elvis next month.
Yeah, and it's got whatever pills he was taking. he was taking like a
Yeah.
bottle or two of pain pills a day. He was
Who
on that
isn't?
Michael Jackson regiment.
Who isn't?
So what do y'all think Elvis would be doing
I think
if
Elvis
he's working
would-
for the government?
Oh, if he's
What would
working
his
for the
job be?
government. Foreign affairs.
I think it's a version of that. He's probably keeping tabs on all these artists that 'cause,
Like
you know,
Kesha.
They're big on going around the world and
Yeah.
spreading. He's a propaganda catcher. I don't know what that term.
He's like hanging out with Kim Kardashian.
Making sure they're not getting too Marxist.
I got you.
Yeah.
He's not doing a good job of it.
Now, he's not doing it now. He's in WITSEC
Well,
in Idaho.
I think he's got a job though,
Oh.
and I think that job is flying.
Wouldn't he be like 1,000 years old? If he's still out there, he's pretty elderly.
How old is he? How old was he when
He was-
How old would he be today? I guess
He was middle aged during Forrest Gump, which was Vietnam, which was in the 60s.
He was born in 1935.
So he'd be 120.
No, he
He'd
wouldn't
be
be
110.
110.
He
No.
would be 86 years old.
Yeah, I was about to say, boss. That's
Yeah, he'd
your
be
math's
90
way
something.
off.
Yeah.
90 something.
86.
He's 86. He'd be 86.
He'd be
Oh, it'd
90
be like 70 something probably.
When
We
was he
just did the
born?
math.
I think he's flying drones, bird drones. That's what I think.
Hey. I think he's dead.
I think he's heading up that program, the bird drone program
I'm gonna tell you what.
for the government.
If I was Elvis, I'd be in dadgum Turks and Caicos or somewhere like that. I'd be just chilling. The Virgin Islands, somewhere like that, just living my life.
I heard also that he's the groundskeeper at Graceland now.
Like an undercover.
There's a YouTube video that he's an undercover groundskeeper at Graceland.
Dang.
There's
He's
a guy
just trying to
walking
live
out.
in his house.
What a
In a
fall from
red
grace. He went
Land.
from
Fall
Elvis.
from Graceland.
Yeah. He went from being Elvis to being a custodian at his own
Supposedly.
house, at his own
At his own
property.
house,
Hey,
yeah.
He's
He's
just,
on his own payroll.
that's
He
that's
wanted
an
that
easy
simpler
way.
life.
Tax
Yeah,
evasion.
that's an easy way. You're not going to think that the groundskeeper's Elvis. You'll be like, oh, he looks really.
Especially
he looks
if
a
he's
lot like him.
110. It's probably
86.
Not.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
Wait, so he was born in 37,
35.
35?
Yeah. 35 in Tupelo.
This hat is messing up my thinking.
I've been to the birthplace of Elvis in Tupelo. I've been to Graceland too. so.
At the hospital?
No, in there was like a log cabin. It was a
You've
log
been in it?
cabin. Yeah.
Did you get down where he was?
They had like an outhouse too that you could open up, and it was just plexiglass. You couldn't walk into the outhouse; it was just plexiglass. So they were like pre-COVID, had
So
it
where'd you
down
go to
pat.
do? What would you want to do in
The
his,
woods.
in his bathroom?
You just go see it. It's not.
Was
I
it cool?
didn't want to go in. You open the door and it's plexiglass.
Was it cool though, for real?
It was all right.
Because, like, have you ever been to the Biltmore in North Carolina?
No, I really want to go. Is it not?
It's
Also, though, Lee doesn't like anything. So
I got a history degree from UA, so that should be right up my alley. It was cool. You just walk around this old mansion.
yeah.
It's got a bunch of stuff in it.
So that's what I felt similarly about castles in Scotland. I went to Scotland.
do that bad.
So the ruins of castles, really cool.
Yeah.
Actual castles, the like Edinburgh Castle,
The good castles that are
not
still
that
up.
great.
Not so much.
Not that cool. Because you're just like walking around and like
That's how the Biltmore is. It was cool. But
there was like ropes all. It was like roped
you
off
have a
in
little
different places.
Yeah, you go on a little.
Yeah,
There's a
but like Slane's Castle, where Dracula was written, was
Yeah.
just it's a ruin, and so you just walk in and you're just walking around this like ruins, and it's not like just a pile of rubble on the ground. It still like has the outline of a castle, and
Yeah.
you can still like go in the dungeon and up top, but there's no like ropes anywhere.
I take it back. The Biltmore was cool. I'd like to go with like after hours
Yeah.
where you can like check stuff
Like
out.
a behind the scenes tour.
Yeah.
Wasn't it one of the
Like
first
Disney World.
houses with indoor electricity?
Yeah, it has an
Okay.
indoor swimming pool.
Wow.
It was the first one of those too.
When was that built?
1800. I don't know.
Have they updated
So it's like
the
100 years
electrical?
old.
Huh?
Have they updated the electrical?
Yeah, it's all lit up.
Well, I mean, I'm saying like their old electrical system though was on like a knob and tube setup.
Past me.
Which is what my old house was on.
Is that the ones where you open it up and it's got the little
Yeah.
plugs in the fuse box?
No, that's a fuse box.
Oh, never mind then.
Knob and tube is like this wire with like glass. It's essentially the same concept as a fuse, but like the glass would shatter if it got too much. But it's like all up under your house, and so you
Huh.
have all these knobs and yeah.
Don't ever
sure-
say you don't learn nothing new on this podcast.
I'm sure it was, but they don't let you under the house at the Biltmore.
Yeah.
But they
That's
did.
where they got all the slaves.
Yeah.
They have slave quarters, or they did,
Oh, I'm sure that they're still
or worker like servants' quarters. They don't.
Yeah,
they weren't
servants.
Yeah, but the Biltmores were like richer than God.
I'm surprised that Biltmore is still around with all the like
Oh, they hadn't burned it down.
Yeah.
Antifa.
Yeah, yeah.
Your buddies over there at Antifa hadn't burned it down yet.
buddies. Anyway, you got another one for us?
His comrades, not his buddies.
Yeah, comrades.
So we can go a couple of ways with it. So do we want to go modern or do we want to go classical conspiracy theories?
We were just talking about the Biltmore. Keep it old school.
Keep it old school. All right. So let's talk moon landing.
All right. I'm actually going to defend the government here.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Same.
I'm not surprised, but go ahead.
I'm not surprised.
I wish it hadn't happened because that's a lot of taxpayer money to go put a flag on a rock,
Mhm.
which we could have used that for a lot more stuff.
Well, so I saw an in-depth video from a guy who is a videographer and like talking about all the equipment that was available back then. There was practically no way to fake it because it
Right.
was streamed 24/7 on the TV. I don't know if you knew that.
So yeah, here's my question though. I can't watch an Alabama game on YouTube TV without it buffering. But you're telling me, and I'm 10 miles from a stadium, but you're telling me people
But
on the
60
moon,
years ago, we had a live feed that was crisp.
Well, I don't think it wasn't crisp,
but it didn't buffer.
Yeah. Well, that's because they had a cord going all the way up.
Going all the way to
It
the
was
studio.
an
that they
Ethernet
filmed it
cable.
at.
It was an Ethernet cable going all the way up to the moon. So that makes sense
And
to
I'm
me.
the conspiracy theorist.
I will. So the people that say like, so one of the biggest things that anti-moonlanders will say is that like it was filmed in like a studio.
Yeah.
Right. So wait a second now. A lot of it was after the fact for TV and commercials so that they could get good footage to like reprint and put on paper and stuff. And they'll even take like a lot of the stuff that there's like posters of and commemorative pictures of and stuff. Yeah, that's not from the moon. And it's because I watched a thing about it.
Okay. Was it on YouTube?
No, it was on. I don't know where it was, but I watched it. And like, they're not even saying most of the like print ads and stuff that had moon landing stuff on it. That was not from the moon.
I've never heard that.
Okay,
I'm not saying that it's not true. I'm just saying I haven't
that's
heard
the
it.
extent of what I know.
Yeah.
So yeah, the people that say like, well, you can see where like you can see like a boom mic or something in the corner of this. It's because they did a lot of it back on Earth after the fact, on purpose.
I've never heard that.
Okay.
I just think about it this way. Name one government agency or any kind of government entity in America, at least, that is more efficient than a private version of that.
Cuba.
They're not.
You can't.
Yeah.
How long has SpaceX been out? Okay, how much money is in the private sector that could have gone to fund something like SpaceX, but when did he first get to space?
Not that long ago. Right?
Not in the 60s or whenever they're pretending that we got to the moon.
Josh.
Can you phrase it a different way?
I'll phrase any way you want to.
Yeah, I'm trying to process it.
Yeah,
I'm trying to process what you're.
So it took the private sector. What? When did we land on the moon?
60,
Allegedly,
1960, not 1950, not. I don't know.
I think it was
69?
Didn't you have like a history degree or something?
Not about space,
So
because I think
60
space is stupid.
2 years later, right? Yeah, 62 years later.
The richest man on the planet got up there.
You're telling me that
Yeah.
that the government did something 62 years sooner than the private sector?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't believe that. How long does it take to get a package from here to California if you go USPS versus going UPS?
Depends on the weight.
It's night and day. There's no way a government entity is as efficient as a private sector.
Yeah, they're definitely not. Josh.
So my counter to that would be is like rocket stuff was like brand spanking new back then. And so the government was funding all the like rocket experiments and like trying to get all that stuff going. And so after it's already been done now, the private sector is just trying to make it cheaper. And so all the research is there about like how many pounds per ton or whatever of thrust you have to get something to outer space, and all that stuff's already done. But back then they didn't.
So you're saying the government invented something that was not done by the private,
we did it with atom bombs in World War II. But that's because we stole all the German scientists.
I was about to say, well, part of the. I
It's a
mean,
Manhattan project.
Van Braun was a German scientist as well. So
I don't know. Is it a makeup company?
Von Braun,
Yeah, I don't know. What that is.
he's like the.
don't they make the razors, electric razors?
This is
You mean Van Heusen? The clothing company?
Oh yeah.
Is that what you're talking about, Josh?
Speaking of
He's-
German scientists, did y'all
Okay.
know? You've heard that Einstein failed his math class.
I didn't know that.
I've always heard that don't ever give up because Einstein failed a math class, and
Werner
that's
von Braun,
baloney. He never did.
aerospace engineer. He was a German engineer, and then He's like half the stuff in Huntsville's named after him.
Okay.
Like the UAH is
Von Braun Center.
Von Braun Center. Yeah.
I just made that. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
their like.
Just figured there's a center.
Yeah, that's like their civic center or something.
Okay.
But yeah, he
Cool.
was a German scientist.
Well, that was the whole reason we were trying to get to, like, that was as big of a reason to defeat Germany as anything else was, is because we were racing the Russians to get the German scientists.
Yeah.
And we got some of them. We got the good ones.
You know who else is a moon conspiracy theorist?
About the moon in general, or landing
Just
on the
landing
moon?
on it.
Joe
We
Biden?
did. No, he's a fellow podcaster of yours, Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Mm.
He doesn't believe.
His buddy, what's the real crazy guy?
Alex Jones?
No. The
Lizard
UFC
people?
guy.
Oh, Dana.
No. It's
10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu is his company.
yeah, it's
But he legit Eddie Bravo.
Eddie Bravo.
Eddie Bravo
That
thinks
dude.
like that the moon is a satellite.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's
see it.
legit crazy.
I could see it.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see the moon at night, but
Yeah. What would we need a satellite that big for?
it's not ours.
Whose is it? Russians?
No,
Aliens.
aliens. Speaking of aliens,
Speaking of aliens,
all these UFOs that
let's
are
talk
popping
about
up.
it. So, what do y'all know about the new documents that have been declassified?
I'm not real worried about anything the government says.
It's super fishy.
What do they say? There are aliens?
Essentially, they're saying that UFO. There are Navy pilots and Navy warships that have come in contact daily with unidentified. They don't call them UFOs anymore. It's unidentified aerial phenomenon is what they're calling it. But these things are like on video from like F-15s and stuff that it's like changing course. It like drops altitude like nothing we've ever created. And some people are saying it's drones. And
Yeah,
that's the way that they
birds.
can birds.
Bird drones.
Bird drones. But yeah, it's interesting.
I feel like now this is, if there were aliens, they'd be in the Bible.
Well, I mean, if you go down
believe-
certain rabbit holes, they are in the Bible.
Well, but it's the same thing with like ghosts and stuff and people that think places are haunted. I think all that it's supernatural stuff, but it's not aliens. It's just that's what like society has come up with.
Mm.
Now I don't know. I also don't really care if there's aliens. I don't think there are aliens. I think we're it in the whole place.
Well, there is life on other planets. That's been proven.
Life?
Because and I say that, I use that word intentionally because it's been found that there is water on Mars, and within that water there are certain bacteria, just like within any water there's living organisms in the bacteria. So there is life outside of this planet. Now, here's where I'm going to flip on you guys. I do not believe that intelligent life
Okay.
exists on this outside of Earth.
It's
Not really outside of Alabama.
Okay, so
Yeah.
intelligent life. You're saying there's no other like human type, or are we saying like because some people would say like dolphins or chimpanzees would be considered
I'm
intelligent
saying outside
life.
of Earth. Like
Like dolphins, chimpanzees,
Like
something
single cell
similar.
bacteria,
yeah,
but not something.
not something that can fly a UFO.
Okay.
That's
So-
what I'm getting at.
My
So
thing
can a
is-
dolphin fly a UFO? That's the next
My
question.
thing is, I think out of space continues on forever.
Right.
Out of all that, to say that we're the only living thing
you're
is
one of
like
those.
highly improbable.
No, it's not.
Okay, so let's get back to
Yes.
what the government's trying to say.
Okay. Yeah. What
Which
is
is-
our trustworthy, great U.S.
Throw that
government?
back on there.
Say
So
about
here's
it.
what I'm getting at. So I've pulled up a picture of one of these UFO. Oh gosh,
They're gonna get you.
They just blew my
Hurry.
hat off.
They just blew.
Don't
my
worry, I
hat.
got you. You're safe now.
Gosh.
So you're telling me that however many millions and billions of dollars we spend on our fighter planes, and that's the best image quality we can get?
Yeah, that's another thing. Everything. It looks like all the videos and pictures were shot with a potato.
Yeah.
That's from a FLIR camera, which is the only cameras that we have on F-15s and stuff that record video.
Okay,
that's
then let's
that's
quit-
like when
then
they
send
drop.
It can
Then
pinpoint a missile from a billion miles away.
The size of a pencil.
The size of a pencil, but it can't. But my
We can't
iPhone
zoom in on that
3
thing?
can take a better picture than that.
That's because your iPhone 3 is not a FLIR camera.
Okay, let's
That's
put a
like a-
GoPro on some of
So I
these
want to know
boats.
who's in
some
charge
of
of
these-
putting the cameras on these things.
Yeah.
Well, those planes were built in like the 1990s.
So we're saying 90s built things with bad cameras are what we're going to use as evidence for
In
aliens.
2021,
Yeah, I ain't buying that. That could be anything. That's a drone.
yep.
That could be a daggum bat. For
I mean,
all we know.
honestly,
I don't know.
Yeah, there's no telling. It could be a fly that got on the camera lens.
Yeah, that's
So
from
they're
his,
tracking it with radar.
that's from
and
his
all
hot
this other
dog.
stuff.
That's on the back end. That's ketchup
I don't
or
buy it.
relish.
I don't buy it.
Okay, that's fine.
But to use that lame excuse of like, well, look how big space is. It could. Why would we be the only ones? That takes no calories to have that thought.
It takes no calories to just go. Nope.
Well,
They
but
don't
to
exist.
just say, well, it's big enough. There has to be something else. That's as much evidence as me saying there's zero.
I didn't say that there definitely are. I said for the odds are that there's something else out there. The odds are. I'm not saying that there are or there aren't.
I'm
I'm
holding
just
in
saying.
a good segue.
Okay.
But I'm going to come back to
Segue
it.
away.
Depends on how much more aliens we got to talk about.
I mean,
Or what
I
your
don't think
next
they
thought was.
exist, so I don't
Okay,
think
good.
there's a lot to talk about.
Speaking of odds, you know what the odds of COVID being coming from nature is? 1 in 13 billion. That's the odds.
What are the odds of it coming from a
Well, so
lab in
then-
Wuhan?
Well, that's what happened. Yeah,
So 1 in 1.
yeah,
One.
better than 100%. And that was like statisticians that came out with that. They ran their numbers now, and it was like it's 1 in 13 billion. It might have been 13 trillion, but 13 billion. Let's go conservative. That it came naturally from like bats or pangolins or whatever. Didn't happen. We created that thing. Bill Gates and his buddies created that thing.
And what's even more messed up is that they got the government to fund it.
Yeah, our tax dollars did.
Yeah.
We paid for them to create that thing.
We
Great.
paid for that and gender studies in Pakistan.
Mm-hmm. Oh, did you listen to the one where we had all the stupid stuff tax dollars go to?
Was that?
It was last
It
week.
was last week. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. Rand Paul's
Where Rand
great.
Paul got up and did it.
He's great.
Yeah.
He does that every year.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Rand Paul. When I made my check out to the government for their for taxes this year, I asked my accountant if I could write in there not to go to gender studies in Pakistan.
Well, so my thought on that is let's do taxes, even if we want to do a flat tax. I'm a fan of the like 10% flat tax. If it's good enough for Jesus, it's good enough for the government. But there's no deductions. You can't. Everybody pays 10%.
on your gross income.
Yes. But there's no deduction. But it's just 10%. It's not going to be. And we would actually bring in more money than we do now, according to people that are big on flat tax. Anyway, but you get a letter. They send a letter out and then it has a return. It has a stamp envelope for your return to put the check in or whatever. But you get to bubble in where you want your tax dollars to go. And then they have to fund it off of that. And so if the gender studies people in Pakistan, they want their money, they need to convince people that they need their money. But you can say, all right, my 10% is going to the military. And that's
So what if everybody picks? and I like this in theory, but what if everybody picks military, and then now you don't have roads?
Funding for
But it's like free flowing open capitalism.
And then also, what if everybody picks, healthcare, and I don't because I want to pay for my own healthcare? Then do I not get healthcare that everybody paid for? Or, you know what I mean?
It's just a theory.
And if everybody picks military, except Josh, because he's a hippie, does
He doesn't believe in.
does he not get the
strong-
protection of the U.S. military?
No, he does.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just to everybody inside gets whatever that entity is, whatever that money is. They have to work off of that money.
Yeah.
They can't pull it from. But if you see that half the country put their 10% into border,
Yeah.
that money goes to the border. And if it's a president who wants to tear the wall down, that money doesn't get to, it just gets put away. It gets stashed in the border account.
Speaking of people that didn't get money, AOCs.
Grandmother?
Yeah, grandmother.
Abuela.
So this is no longer.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna take
Are we
this one
giving these? Okay.
Yeah. AOC's grandmother. AOC tweeted about like how
Trump burned her house down or something?
well, it
wasn't
was that Trump stopped funding
He
a
sent
certain area.
he sent a hurricane.
Yeah,
Trump
he,
sent a
he
hurricane.
pulled. He didn't send aid to a place that had a hurricane, and her grandmother was living in like a dilapidated place and all this other stuff. And then people were like, "Hold up, how much are you worth?
Yeah.
You couldn't send some funding over?
Quietly.
Yeah, just
to
send
help your
send
family
some
out?
money. Yeah, send some money to your grandma.
But she bought
I
a
don't-
Tesla.
Yeah.
Leased
the-
a Tesla.
AOC.
AOC did. That was the big thing. It's like you can go buy a Tesla, but you can't support your grandmother.
Yeah. So
And
I'm all for people who don't want to support their grandmas, but
Yeah.
But don't blame it on Trump.
Yeah.
yeah, don't. blame
Was
it on
she in
Trump.
like a territory or something? Or it wasn't like
It was a U.S. territory, yeah.
Okay.
It's,
Yeah.
and she called it a colony.
I don't think we should have those anyway. I'm a bit of an isolationist. But yeah.
Yeah,
So Trump tore her house down
Mm-hmm.
with the weather machine.
and then AOC was super upset about it, and then
What's his name?
there was somebody
Matt
else.
Walsh.
Matt
Walsh said,
Of the
"Hey,
Daily
we're going to
Bible.
start a GoFundMe," and they raised like it was a
Millennium.
bunch. It was like $100,000,
Last time I saw it was 104.
and then AOC's family said, "No, thank you."
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
So you don't really care.
So he called her
you
bluff.
Don't, yeah,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
don't want you don't want it.
And there was an article somewhere in the UK, I think, that said Republicans attack AOC by starting GoFundMe for her grandmother.
yeah.
Attack.
What?
So whoever
It's an
wants
attack.
to, y'all can attack me with a GoFundMe whenever
Yeah,
you get
seriously.
ready.
If you want to send me $100,000 to attack me,
Please.
please do. Please do. That's like one time I went to the bank and they, I was paying a loan at the bank and they were like, "Oh, we got to make sure we need your ID and all this other stuff." And I was like, "Look, I'm just going to go ahead and give you clearance that if anybody comes in here and they want to put money on my
On
loan,
Josh's account.
don't
Don't ask them.
Yeah, don't ask.
Don't
question
needle them
it.
with a
Yeah.
bunch of questions. Just
Yeah.
yeah.
Don't if you misheard the name, just keep going.
Yeah.
Like don't even. But
Yeah,
anywho,
that just goes to show you that it's not about, with her, AOC specifically, it's not
Oh, yeah.
about actually helping people.
No.
no, not at all.
None of it is.
She doesn't care.
No.
So speaking of our next topic,
Speaking of our next topic,
Speaking of AOC,
AL.
I hope this daylight saving time bill gets some legs under it.
so on her desk,
Kay Ivey, Meemaw.
Meemaw. I've been.
She's running for
wanting
re-election
this.
too.
I'm not a Meemaw fan. I would vote for Meemaw again if she promised
keeps
to get
doing
that
what-
through.
Yeah, because you see this doesn't have anything to do with daylight saving time, but they just did the Alabama Supreme Court just they did their heartbeat bill and passed it like yesterday or
Really?
like this morning.
Okay.
So if you I think it's from conception, it's a
Yeah.
person now in Alabama.
Awesome.
So we can't. There like no Plan B pills will be sold in the state.
I don't
I'm assuming.
know.
I mean,
but
that would be
it was
from conception. I would.
Anna was
imagine.
telling me about it because she is pretty into that topic.
Mm-hmm.
It's Alabama Supreme Court passed it.
Good.
So no more abortions.
Yeah.
If it goes through and everything stays the same. And if Meemaw keeps doing stuff like that, and
I'm down.
getting rid of masks
Like,
and all that stuff.
Let's be honest. Meemaw's not doing
She's
half
a
of this
figurehead.
anyway.
Yeah.
She's
So,
like the queen.
yeah.
She kind of looks like the queen.
She does. That old. She's in her 80s
Yeah.
and she's running for re-election. Bring it on. Whatever.
I've been a big fan of that, right? Especially as a parent, because it's really hard to get your kid to go to bed when it's.
We're talking about daylight saving time. Not
That's what I was
abortions.
like.
That's
I
what
was
I'm
like,
talking about.
I'm a real big fan of.
I'm talking about daylight savings time.
Because
Yeah.
kids are annoying.
We're back to daylight savings time here.
Kids
Thank you
are
for
annoying.
clarifying.
So
Yes.
I am for.
No,
to stave off any confusion,
thank you, Lee.
we're back on daylight savings time.
I hate my kids,
100%
so I
against
am pro abortion.
Now that I have a couple of kids,
It's not as good as I thought it was going to be.
this whole abortion bill.
Yeah, I'm moving to California.
Daylight savings time.
Daylight
Yeah.
savings time. I like. To me, in my head, if we do away with it nationwide,
Yeah.
thumbs up.
Utah's already
But
done with it.
If
I believe.
if we don't do nationwide, like think about there's the UFC's pay-per-views on tonight. That's 8 Eastern. All right, 8 Eastern. Was it daylight savings yet, or is it not daylight savings yet?
Yeah.
And then so that's Central Time now, so it'd be 7. But is it really 6?
You know how many people
Or is it 8?
miss their flights
Yeah,
going from Birmingham to like
I don't think it would be that
Atlanta.
because I don't think about is it daylight savings time, is it not? I just think if it's like 7:00 Eastern, I think okay, what time is it right now? Okay, so it's 2:00 right now. That means it's 3:00 Eastern. So that means it'll be 6:00 Central.
but if they had like daylight savings still on the Eastern time zone,
Now
Right.
you either
And
kick
so-
it an extra hour. Or back
yeah,
an
it's
hour,
either up or down an
depending
hour.
on what time of the year it is.
It would definitely be better if we did it as a
As a
They
nation,
need
I'm-
to just get rid of it
Yeah.
because it was for farming.
Yeah,
allegedly.
Yeah.
really, it was about so we could go to sleep. And then
Back
the
to
UFOs
daylight savings time.
allegedly
But it was about farming and
Yeah.
and like
needing that extra time.
and pickup of
For the harvest.
yeah,
right. And then
Ooh, that'll preach.
you say harvesting something that gets you,
The labor
gets you going.
laborers are few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they wanted everybody
Speaking of the laborers are few.
Spiritually and practically, right
Practically.
now.
because they needed everybody to be in sync year round.
Yeah,
So it's not you start working when the sun comes up, because then as far as like delivery and scheduling of like
Yeah.
transport would be messed up if people started working at different times. And so they did it then.
yeah,
It's not needed anymore.
yeah.
It
So-
hadn't been needed for a long time.
I agree with daylight saving time should be done and over with. This is another thing that like there's been a lot of debate on the internet recently that I've seen about turning lanes, like a median and a turn lane, like how you're supposed to actually come to a median. So there's a lot of people that are saying you should pull all the way up through the median to get to the like. So if we've got 2 medians like this, right? And then I'm this car coming into the median. Instead of coming here, I need to come here.
That's correct.
Well, so here's the problem with that.
So-
All right. So I'm right here, correct? And then Lee is coming over here.
I keep thinking these are the cars, and then he's moving.
No,
his
this is
hand
the
around.
median.
Yeah.
Okay. So you come up here to like do the exact same thing. So you come up right there, right? Okay. So we're both right here.
Mm-hmm.
Next car pulls up. He's directly in my way.
But
So this guy has to
he
move.
stops right here so that you have plenty of room to see.
Nobody's going to do that.
That's the way. But nobody does it the right way anywhere
Yeah.
around. If they did it the right way, totally, then that's what they would do.
Because
Are
that's
there,
to avoid.
Are there lights here?
No.
Well, no, this is
Okay,
this
so
is just
this
a
is
median. This is like to pull up and then come like make a U-turn essentially, which makes sense this way because then I can see cars coming. So if I'm right here and you're on the other side, I can't see past you.
Are you talking about like the one at the Shell by your old house?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah. If I'm right here, I can't see past you. But if I'm over here, I can see past you unless there's another car that pulls up right there. That's like I agree with the theory of it until it comes to multiple cars. Like it makes sense for me here and him here until there's another car here, because then that just completely.
Are you trying to tie this back to daylight savings time?
No, this is just
another one?
Yeah, just another thing that like it's been contested a lot on the internet recently.
This is a question for you, Derek.
If I get
you
hit,
think all of your people, like all of your customers, are they clients or customers or whatever?
Either way,
they need dash cams. Would that?
I think it would
make
help. Yeah, I think it would help for sure. It depends on. So if one company in particular, if they're, and I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus, but there's one insurance company where if they're
with a duh.
The General,
no, it's a pretty big one. It starts with a G.
The General.
They start with a G.
They got that,
but they end with an ICO.
They got that lizard. Yeah,
but they will deny claims over the dumbest things, and so I think that if you have a dash cam, then yes, you're in a lot.
You're in a better spot.
It just happened to my brother-in-law.
Yeah,
he got T-boned, or he T-boned a car that ran a red light, and it was a 16-year-old girl with no license.
Ooh,
and
she was claiming that
she said it was all him, and then he gave his camera to his agent, and they're like, "Oh, never mind. Okay,
yeah,
you're fine.
Yeah.
This girl's an idiot."
Yeah,
and he's like, "Yeah, it's like $50 to get one installed. You can even get it like hardwired in.
They're not that expensive.
Yeah, or buy a Tesla and then
whatever."
Do they have them built in?
Yeah, I've got
one more reason:
front, back, sides, cabin,
and they record.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
If you get into a collision, it'll record. I think it's 20 minutes. It'll save the record. It's always recording. It'll save the recording like 10 minutes before and 10 minutes after the collision.
Didn't somebody run into your car recently?
I didn't have it turned on. I didn't have so hold on, let me back up. If I get into an accident, that's on all the time. But there's a different one called Sentry mode that you have to turn on, and that's when somebody walks up to the vehicle, it starts recording. And so that would have been that instance.
Why do you not have it turned on?
Because I don't have a fast enough USB drive plugged in. So I just need a faster USB drive. And then I'm going to turn it back on. My old USB drive crapped out, so. But
so
yeah.
They're not that great.
Huh?
Huh?
The USB drives that you get from Walmart? Yeah, not that great. That's where I bought my USB drive from. It was like I was checking out and I looked over and it said like 100 gig thumb drive. And I was like, yeah. And then I plugged it in and I was like, oh.
Have you ever watched the YouTube videos of dash cam footage? Just hours of them?
No.
Anna loves them.
Like of nothing happening?
Of car crashes.
Oh, okay.
Caught on dash cams, just over and over.
I was like, just boring dash cam?
Yeah.
Just sitting
terrible.
in your driveway, sitting in your garage.
Yeah.
No, there's...
Yeah, I love seeing those.
I don't know.
Mhm.
I think that's half of YouTube or dash cam videos.
Oh, just like as far as
compilation videos of dash
Yeah.
cam footage crashes.
You're probably right.
We watch a lot of them.
They've got Tesla specific ones too.
And from that,
Wham Bam Tesla
Europe
cam
is a lawless wasteland when it comes to vehicles.
Oh yeah, but that's why everybody has a dash cam
Yeah.
because everybody in Europe has a dash cam.
I mean lawless.
Yeah.
Just no rules.
Yeah,
And I can't read any of the signs. But
let's go. That's
what you got, boss?
This
is yours.
I wanted to talk about back to the tinfoil hat stuff.
Do we need to put them back on?
No, we can just put this one right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
This isn't really a conspiracy as much as it is. To me, it's just crazy. And maybe I'm the only one that didn't know this. And I think I knew part of this before I found this article. Cheese and the government.
Government cheese?
The government has been buying cheese since World War II. Just piles and piles and piles, tons of it. Because back then in World War II, if they didn't prop up that side of the economy, then all of the cheese, milk, all that stuff would have just completely gotten sideswiped. Because there wasn't enough people buying cheese and milk and all that stuff because they didn't have money. Might have been the Great Depression. I think that's when it was.
Great Depression.
It was the Great Depression. I'm going to say that. It was during the Great Depression. People weren't buying cheese and milk. And so the government went in and just bought stockpiles of cheese and milk.
Do
And
you
then,
know that you can't be talking about dairy cheese?
yeah.
So they just
They
throw
bought-
it all away
No.
every week?
No.
'Cause
So they put it in limestone caves in Kentucky. This is dead serious. You can look this up.
we need more hats because I'm
This-
not believing that.
This is fine. You don't got to believe me.
All right.
But they stockpiled
In caves.
in limestone caves in Kentucky because of the way that the moisture and all that stuff was and how cold it was. It was going to keep
So
the
there's
cheese.
cheese caves in Kentucky.
There are cheese caves in Kentucky.
Full of cheese.
Full
from the
of
Depression.
cheese. The Depression, and so when
I think he's full of cheese.
Yeah.
we started giving government cheese,
That's
and
made
powdered
of plastic.
milk. Most of it is from these caves in Kentucky.
Yeah.
No, hold on.
So the
Let me keep going.
FDA is not a thing.
Okay, so after we started giving out the cheese from the caves and stuff,
You better Google
The-
Kentucky cheese caves. Yeah.
the government kept buying cheese. So like today, we're still buying tons and
Think
tons of
Rand Paul
cheese.
wouldn't be talking about these cheese caves.
He'd be all over.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's a thing.
I spelled.
That's our KFC.
KFC in Kentucky,
I spelled
it's there.
Kentucky Cheese
They're
Cafe.
built out of Depression cheese.
Yeah, but that's where all there's 4 pounds of cheese per every American
Give
in
it
these
to
caves.
me.
That's
Bring
what,
it on.
Call the government. Tell them you want
I
your cheese.
want my cheese.
So, according to SmithsonianMag.com, which is I'm assuming a publication of Smithsonian
Yeah.
Institute, this headline says the U.S. has a massive cheese surplus.
Yeah.
Imagine 1.19 billion pounds of cached cheese.
Drop the mic.
You're gonna hurt that thing.
Yeah, this one's sensitive.
I'm looking. I'm just looking for the word Kentucky, and if I don't see it, that means he's wrong.
Yeah.
I didn't see it. You're wrong. That is insane. I'm not going to read it. So,
Nah. What
but
are we doing with
that's
all
crazy.
this cheese?
Yeah, I mean,
Just in case.
It's
speculate.
so now the reason that we're continuing to buy the cheese is because we propped that industry up,
We
and
do
now
that,
it
yeah.
cannot survive without us.
we
the
do that
US
with farm
government.
subsidies
Yeah.
now too. It's
Yep.
Yep. Well, how about that?
So yeah,
I'd like my cheese.
Missouri
okay?
caves. Sorry, Missouri. They're caves in Missouri.
Oh, wow.
My bad. It's estimated
changing
$4
the story
billion.
now.
Yeah, that's-
$4 billion worth of cheese in Missouri caves.
but
Caves?
if you release
Because
all
it
that,
keeps-
though, it's
because it
not
keeps
worth
it
$4
down.
billion anymore.
Oh, for sure, no.
It's worth nothing.
One maybe.
Not nothing.
Do they have guards there to keep the mice out?
Feral cats.
Is that
Maybe it's like, I mean, I'm sure there's some sort of like big door that's in the caves because there's caves that people rent out for like businesses and
There's
stuff.
no way cheese from the Great Depression in any environment is still good today.
yeah?
So they sold off, or they've given out a bunch of the cheese too, though.
What if you were in Missouri
There's
and were applying
restaurants.
for a government job?
I just remembered
and
this.
you think you're going to be like cutting grass or working in an office, and they put you on cheese cave duty.
The government will give you, as a restaurant, the free cheese.
I don't want it.
Hey,
Cheese Louise?
That's not
Dude.
Bro,
fun.
that's a marketing.
seriously.
That is a marketing gift.
If you think for a second, I can't keep cheese a day out of date without
Government
getting in
cheese
trouble. You think I'm
Louise.
going to get depression cave cheese?
We've given the depression cheese away.
I have an idea. Me and you should start a food truck.
Absolutely.
And call it Government Cheese
Government
Louise.
cheese Louise.
I'll see you. Yeah. No, that's not a hat thing. I'll get you on that. I got
So-
9 competes.
I want to do some.
The historical moments.
Yeah.
All right.
Also, hold on for 1 second. I want to talk about. Think about this for a second. Hot air.
Ugh.
Love it or hate it.
Hate it. Depends. Am
Yeah,
I cold?
Depends on the time
Outside.
of the year.
Outside?
In August,
In August,
At
no,
noon.
I hate it.
What kind? Are we talking humid?
we're talking about
Warm air?
Alabama.
The worst.
Okay. Hot water. When you're taking a shower.
Better.
Yeah, I mean, I also like cold showers.
Yeah, I do
Oh.
too. Lukewarm shower at best.
cold water. How do you feel about cold water?
I like it.
Like 30-degree water.
That's ice.
It's ice,
pal.
but
Yeah.
Well, 40-degree water.
40-degree water.
33-degree water?
Yeah.
33-degree water.
40-degree water, a little cold.
Cold air.
Am I drinking it? What are you doing?
I'm
Get
just saying,
there.
it's just, that's hot air, not good. Hot water, like we're talking about our bodies being enveloped in something. Hot air, don't like it. Hot water, love it.
Cold
Trying to go-
air.
Cold air, love it.
Yeah.
Cold water, not a fan.
So for me, you got hot air. I hate it. Hot water, meh. Cold water, meh. Cold air, I love it.
Yep.
Yeah,
So it's like love it to meh
Yeah.
yeah,
in the middle.
yeah.
And there's too many applications. Am I
Yeah.
trying to make noodles?
Then I want
Because I
hot.
have to have hot water.
We're
Am I-
talking about just like comfort.
You're talking about submerging your body in
Yeah.
these things.
Yeah, yeah. There's no way I want to put my body in hot air.
Not really.
Cold air,
Yeah.
I sleep in cold air.
Yeah. That is that all you had?
Yeah.
That just
Yeah,
the air,
that's
air
just,
and
it
water.
was just interesting. Just a thought. Anyways,
Yeah.
so these are we've done this before. It was
Let us
hysterical,
know if that was important. to you
historical
guys.
moments.
In the comments below.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Historical moments.
Historical moments that'll mess with your sense of time.
Okay.
Okay,
Elvis's
Elvis is alive.
That got me.
Yeah.
Elvis's birth.
Marilyn Monroe
Yep.
was born the same year as the current Queen of England,
Wow.
1926.
A few years before Elvis.
Phew.
I wonder
Few
what the
years.
queen looked like the year Marilyn Monroe died.
I don't think she was
I thought
hot.
when she was born, she probably looked like a baby. a little queen.
I bet.
You want to, just for 5 seconds, some people think she runs the planet.
The queen?
Marilyn Monroe.
No, not her dead corpse. Marilyn Monroe runs. No, gosh. The queen is in charge. Yeah, she was.
Yeah. Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
I'd go
man.
Marilyn
I mean,
Monroe.
look at the teeth on that thing.
Yeah.
She's ate an apple.
Eat a
boy.
strawberry through a wire fence.
Yeah.
Some people think she runs the whole show.
There's no way.
I just
know,
said some people.
That's what some people say,
This
but
comes from the air and water guy.
there's no way.
I want another one.
Okay. So, Oxford University
All right.
was established before the Aztec Empire.
That's crazy.
Say that again?
Oxford University was established before the Aztec Empire.
That's mind-boggling.
What date? You
Oxford University was 1096,
What?
and the Aztec Empire was 1428.
It's 400 years before the Aztecs. That's funny. Because they're the same.
Oh, Meemaw and the Queen of England?
That's
Oh, yeah,
funny.
for sure.
But it says what you ordered on Wish versus what you got.
I didn't see the top of that.
George Washington
Had wooden teeth.
didn't know about dinosaurs.
Yep.
We didn't find.
He died before. Done it.
So does that mean dinosaurs weren't real?
No,
Think about it.
So
The founder
the
of
U-
America.
Yeah, America was founded in 1776.
The first bones
bone
were found after he died.
was found in 1822.
There's a bunch of people that didn't know about dinosaurs.
Yeah, everybody before
Nothing is real.
1822.
Nothing is real.
nothing is
Yeah.
real.
That's assuming dinosaurs are real.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's insane.
Yeah. I've heard that one before about George Washington. It's pretty cool.
Harriet, who was a Galapagos tortoise,
Oh, they lived to be like a billion.
met Charles Darwin,
Yep.
and also met Steve Irwin.
Yeah.
When did
One turtle.
when did Darwin die?
Charles Darwin.
And did Harriet put out the hit on Steve Irwin?
She talked to her
He
stingray
died
buddies.
in 1882.
So he was mid 1800s with the dolphin or with the tortoise. But they lived to be like hundreds of years old, so that's not a huge stretch.
That's still crazy.
Yeah,
though.
it's crazy.
Okay, this is the last one.
Oh, I thought you had more.
Yeah,
This
I'm enjoying this.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the sixth one.
You've only said 2.
I've said Marilyn Monroe,
Yep.
Oxford University,
Yep.
George Washington.
Yep.
America was founded before the first bones. That's the same one.
The same one as George
And then
Washington.
Harriet Galapagos tortoise.
That's 4. We got 2 more. Or 1.
I got one more.
Dang.
Woolly mammoths,
Mm-hmm.
Shameless plug.
went extinct after the pyramids of Giza were erected.
Sure. They were extinct during the Pleistocene.
Woolly mammoths went extinct. Wait.
Just read it.
So the woolly mammoth went extinct in 2600. 2600 was the year.
That year hadn't
Wait.
happened yet, Josh.
Yeah. Woolly mammoths went extinct 600 years from now.
Yeah, they're not extinct yet because you can find my clothing at mammothclothing.co. Let me find this fact again so that I don't lead you astray.
2600 BC.
Maybe was the
That was
pyramids
only-
of Giza before Christ?
Yeah, the Jews built them. And then Moses got them all out of there.
Okay.
Right? That might not have been Giza specifically, but we're talking about Egypt and pyramids and Moses. That was Pharaoh.
We're almost to the point in the video where I can see what it is.
Is that a TikTok video?
It is a TikTok.
Gosh.
TikToks are great.
I had to delete it.
Thank you.
Wow.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was showing me dirty pictures.
So-
stuff I don't want to see.
Woolly mammoths went extinct 1650 BC,
Okay.
and then the pyramids of Giza were built in 2600 BC. So it would have been
Before.
before.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is a bit of clickbait as far
1,000
as
years
mammoths,
old.
because that was just a tiny island of mammoths that had stayed that human contact didn't get to until way later. But mammoths went extinct like 10,000 years ago for the most part.
Yeah, but think about it. If there was just an island of T-Rexes running around, you wouldn't be like, well, but really,
They're just big losers.
really, they just went extinct.
I was just clarifying for the people watching
Yeah,
that
y'all-
don't
they
think
don't
there
care.
were big woolly mammoths,
There were.
people hunting them with spears like 3,500 years ago. It wasn't like that. But sure, there were mammoths.
Was there not? The Indians weren't?
No.
Native Americans?
No. Ice Age. Pleistocene era.
That was bison.
Yep.
They kind of look the same, but
Bison. Yeah.
You know what their taxonomical name is? Bison, bison, bison.
huh?
Yep.
Just so you don't forget, or
No, it was like their Latin, Linnaean name or whatever. Just happens to be the ones we have now are bison, 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 which is funny because it's always like real funny looking Latin names
Yeah.
for stuff, but there's this bison, bison, bison.
well, we're at an hour.
Yeah, it's our
So-
cutoff.
Yeah.
And I just got a notification that the government's on their way.
Good. Well,
So
to end it out, I want to say I've been having trouble sleeping recently.
this is a joke. Just I didn't want you to get too caught up in it because this is definitely a joke.
I was about to start praying for him.
Insomnia is a terrible disease, but on the plus side, only 2 more sleeps till Christmas.
I don't get it.
You can't. Insomniacs can't sleep.
He's only going to fall asleep twice.
Only
You
just
only got
fall
2
asleep
more
twice.
sleeps
Yeah,
till
there you go.
Christmas.
There you go.
Man.
But anyways, thanks for listening, everybody.
I'm never coming back.
Thank you guys for letting us into your hearts and minds and your homes and your places of work. And
And your butts. Thanks, Derek, for being here.
thanks, Derek.
Thanks.